Israel-Iran War News Live Update. Shallow roots of Iran-Israel War. Iran and Israel's Cold War heated up in early April. Iranian officials faced a crisis when an Israeli airstrike in Damascus killed 7 Revolutionary Guard Corps officers. They risked destabilizing their regime by responding militarily. They risked losing credibility with their own hardliners and allies in Iran's axis of resistance, which includes Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and various Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria, several of which were already chafing at Iran's restraint in responding to the Gaza war. Iran's authorities achieved a Goldilocks result through telegraphing and technical incompetence. They bombarded Israel with around 300 missiles and drones on April 13. But good Western intelligence, Israel and its allies' superior warning systems, and air defenses minimized damage. Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, said the attack was more important than hitting the target. Israel was encouraged to take the win and, following a measured retaliation, the two sworn adversaries revived relations with startling speed. Other events have overshadowed Israel and Iran's near war in recent weeks. After the May 19 helicopter crash that killed Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi and Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian, international focus has returned to the regime's stability in Khamenei's successor. The events of early April and their unusually quick settlement raise issues about the regime and how the Islamic Republic's increasingly contentious domestic politics have moderated its uncompromising antipathy toward the Jewish state. In particular, ordinary Iranians have exhibited minimal interest in the Gaza war. Iran, Hamas's main patron, is the only Muslim country in the Middle East whose leadership has struggled to inspire Palestinian sentiment, even with the regime's fear of mass protests. Unlike the large-scale rallies against Israel in Western and Arab capitals, the largest such gathering in Tehran since the conflict attracted only 3,000 individuals. The Iranian regime has struggled to inspire Palestinian support. Political causes include Iranian displeasure with Tehran's leadership and Islamism. Many Iranians believe a Hamas victory benefits their authoritarian Islamic system. Iranians also focus on their own issues, such as rising unemployment and diminishing quality of life. Their protests often include the shout, "Neither Gaza nor Lebanon, my life for Iran." Fighting for rights in their own nation that many in the West take for granted, they are surprised and disturbed by pro-Hamas rhetoric on U.S. university campuses. But Iranian war hesitancy has deeper social and cultural origins. The regime's long-standing rhetoric about a Zionist occupying state masks a more nuanced relationship with Israel. In particular, pre-Islamic Persian nations had a fairly close relationship with Jews. Iran and Israel shared more than the Arab world for several decades of the 20th century. This connection continued after the 1979 Islamic Revolution. One of the revolution's most influential thinkers praised the new Jewish state, and Iranian leaders' views of Israel's role in the Middle East were sometimes startling. Today, hardliners on both sides obscure this heritage, and the Iran-Israel proxy war could escalate into a catastrophic direct confrontation. The lengthy history of Persian-Jewish cohabitation shows that the current geostrategic competition may be more temporary than it seems. Despite their animosity, the region's arch-antagonists' shared heritage offers avenues for future use. Iranian father, Israel mother. Jerusalem visitors may be startled to learn that one street is named for a Persian ruler. Cyrus the Great, Koresh in Persian, Koresh in Hebrew, freed Jews from Babylonian captivity in the 6th century BC. His decision to let them return home and restore the temple in Jerusalem left Jews sympathetic toward the Iranians for most of antiquity. Many Jews did not return to Jerusalem and settled in Babylon, where the Babylonian Talmud reflected their Persian milieu. The Jews received Iranian forces at Jerusalem's gates twice more, under the Parthians in 40 BC and the Sasanians 6.5 centuries later, as liberators. This political alliance was subordinate to deeper cultural and religious ties. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu used Esther to claim that Persia has always attempted to destroy the Jews, favoring ideology over history. Esther is a queen of Persia in the Bible who notifies her monarch, Ahasuerus, perhaps Xerxes, the grandson of Cyrus, of Haman's plot against her people. In rage, Ahasuerus hangs Haman for conspiring against the Jews and gives Esther his property. Thus, another Persian monarch spared the Jews. The tombs of Esther and her cousin Mordecai in Hamadan, western Iran, and Daniel in Susa, southwestern Iran, emphasize these biblical ties. Jews still visit them. Iranians doubt presidential election. State News IRNA stated that Iran will hold a presidential election on Friday, June 28, to replace late President Ebrahim Raisi. Iranians doubt. Starting tomorrow, presidential candidates can register until June 3. Campaigning will be brief before the election. Iranian voter turnout, a key indicator of election confidence, has dropped. Only 8% of Tehran voters participated in the final round of parliamentary elections a week before Raisi's death. Recent elections under Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei had a small candidate field, blocking moderate and reformist opposition candidates. Transform Iran CEO Lana Silk said, "An election in Iran hasn't been free for 40 years. Very controlled. That seems like a pointless ploy to install another puppet to carry Khamenei's will. Naturally, there is a power struggle and internal competition for authority. It will be intriguing to see who fills those key positions." Raisi was Khamenei's protégé and supreme leader candidate. The next Iranian president will have big shoes to fill. New leaders in countries like these want to make their imprint. Silk believes everyone wants to be renowned for something and have big role actions. For now, with the way elections are managed and who may run, I don't see a more moderate candidate. I expect it to harden. Iranians need hope before another election. Transform Iran uses diverse media to link Iranians to Jesus Christ, the King of Kings. Visit Transform Iran's ministry. Silk requests, pray that they hear the good news, pray they connect with the message, and pray for us to minister to them, disciple them, and strengthen them as the church expands in Iran.